press conference in English, as all of you except one speak and understand English. It is nearly cold as in Switzerland, here in Art Cafe. We had to shut this down because of cameras that came here. We have a great pleasure of having Mr. Andreas VOLLENWEIDER here in Belgrade, having his concert tonight for the first time in this part of the world, in Belgrade, promoting the last album named Vox. It was after 4 years of kind of pause, yes, with Universal Records. Vox is interesting not only because it is 14th album of Sir VOLLENWEIDER, 14th, yes.
I think.
Yes, 10 million copies, it says on your site, and 14th. 14 numerous on the album, and as well 14th album itself. For the first time, not only playing music, but also singing. I'm not going to say everything. I'm leaving something so you can, okay, yes, introduce yourself, yes. So just album Vox was released this September in Europe, and it is due to be released in USA and Canada at the beginning of next year, something like that, yes. So please, we have journalists here waiting for you. If, yes, you want to...
Hello, I'm really excited to be here. It took us years. It was already years ago that we've tried, and it got a little more complicated. Also, you're not like in the neighborhood. It takes a while, as we could see this morning. It takes a while to come here, but now we're here and we're very, very happy. So if anyone would like to know something more specific about what we're doing here and so forth, I'm happy to answer the question.
How many musicians will perform tonight?
We're only 4 people, but the only is like this because beware, there's going to be a lot of sound because all of us are multi-instrumentalists. All of us play a lot of different instruments, so we have a whole truck full of instruments.
Which instruments?
Oh my good, do you have time? Because it's a lot, the whole family of instruments. All the percussion instruments. Percussion is an important element of the music of this album because it's a lot of groove. It's more groove oriented, more rhythmical than maybe previous albums. But there's also a lot of wind instruments, practically all wind instruments of the family. And I play various harps, a Chinese harp, a special harp, and also guitar, and other string instruments, and I also play wind instruments. So there's there's keyboards, and so forth. It's a whole orchestra. It's a mini orchestra. Only 4 of us.
More questions, please?
Don't be shy. I tell you everything. Even the things you don't want to hear.
Ana Grujic, please.
Well, your album, as far as we understood, there are some things that have some political and social meaning. So, what is your idea about it?
Well, I'm personally a firm believer in the non-violent conflict management, the principles of non-violent conflict management. That by itself, given how the world has developed, especially in this part of the world a while ago, non-violent conflict management becomes a major issue. Because I truly believe that there were people paving the way for us to understand that it's the only way. We don't have any other alternative, intelligent alternative, than the nonviolent conflict management. Because thousands of years of history, of human beings have proven the point we don't get anywhere if we use violence. We just postpone we just push things more to the future for other generations to clean up the mess that we put up. So every note that I'm playing, every breath that I'm taking, and every step that I'm making, traveling in this world with the music, is because I would like to spread that spirit, that people are inspired to follow people like Mahatma Gandhi, like Martin Luther King, people like Nelson Mandela, people like Dalai Lama. All these people, there's a lot of other people. These people have proven that you can change worlds with the principles, following the principles of nonviolent conflict management. So that has been since 25 years, since I'm on my way with this music, traveling. This has been the spirit of every note that I was playing.
Thank you. I know that all of you, yes, Stanislav.
Most artists don't like any kind of categorization. They like to escape of idea to categorize their own music. But anyway, can you, if you should say to someone, what is your music? I know it's not jazz, it's not classical music. What would you say on that subject?
Well, the reason that people are, that we musicians or painters or artists in general, we are trying to stay away from categorizations. There's a really important reason, because with every categorization that you make, you exclude all other possibilities. And since we have such a mixed audience that is mainly, it's basically made out of, or comes from all different cultural fields and age groups. This is reflected in the music as well. And by categorizing the music, I exclude a lot of people because they don't come. If they say, for instance, it's jazz, then everybody who has a certain image of jazz is not coming to the concert or is not buying the albums because they think we don't like jazz. If I call it classical, that's the same. And we enjoy 25 years of living with this music between the worlds, living a certain almost culturally nomadic life. And we enjoy this, and I would be a fool to do anything to sabotage this beautiful situation. It's music from the heart, played by a harp for the heart of people. It's more I can't be more specific than that.
Not just journalists. Our colleague wants to ask you something. Yes, please.
I'm not journalist. I just want to ask you something about artists.
About?
Sorry. Mr. Milutinovic.
Well, till Friday afternoon.
Maybe there is. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Any? Anna, yes,
Did
Anna
you-
Grujic. Yes.
Well, this is your past actually. You are, as far as I understood, you are a classically trained musician, yeah? No, you're not. Okay. But anyway, when it started, it was late 70s, yeah? Maybe to understand more music. How did you start that field? We call it, okay, you call it that you don't want to categorize, yeah? But it can be named as ambient electro music. How did your interest start?
Well, I started with writing film music and music for theater. That was my beginning, actually, in that field, parallel to playing in bands and touring. But my main interest was film music and especially music for theater and ballet. And at that time, I did a lot of this work, and this has been extremely important to me because that is probably why the music is the way it is. It has a almost similar, it's working almost similarly like film music. I try to use the mind, the imagination of people. I try to create a soundtrack for their own inner movies. We call it sometimes mind movie music. And but it still is music that illustrates, that is trying to stimulate the imagination of the listener. That's trying to open up worlds and thoughts and emotions, but not to actually, or ask questions, but not to answer the question, but just to raise the question, and then let the listener answer, find the answer. It's a journey. It's music. It's a musical journey, and it's an old tradition actually. If you look at Ravel and Debussy, there are just some of the even more contemporary elements of musical journeys. So that is probably why the music never really gets too the ego in the music we're playing. The ego is very controlled. It's not about showing the world how extremely wonderful I play the harp, and it's not about how good we are. It's about we take a step back and deliver a service to the listener, basically, more rational terms.
Georgi Milutinovic, now.
Sorry, I just saw.
It's okay. Till Friday afternoon, we had a spring here, and then we wanted to make you feel like at home, so it's cold now.
Oh.
But watching your promo material from Vox, I'm sure that you will raise the temperature very, very high. And there is one thing which was pretty surprising for me. A lot of my friends whom I talked to, I was not sure will they recognize everything about your music. So yeah, we did with Caverna Magica and everything. We got married with that. So a lot of
responsible for their
but there
outcome.
are good marriages. So
Oh,
a lot of good vibes are left in the town from your old music and with this Vox. I just want to thank you that after a long time of negotiating and talking, when will you come again and stuff like that, you're again with us, and I'm sure that you will be surprised with the reaction of the audience, who knows really extremely much about your music, about last 13 CDs, albums, whatever they are. So I think that we will exchange good vibrations from both sides, and that you will remember the place and you will remember the concert. So I want to wish you, it was maybe for the very beginning, but anyhow I want to wish you very, very pleasant stay in Belgrade and a lot of good time with us.
Thank you very much. I will have that, I'm sure, already.
Any more questions? If not, I would like to thank you.
Just a seat, and I'm all yours.
What? Sorry. Yeah, I thought you were
Okay.
Can I start? Mr. VOLLENWEIDER, it's a great pleasure and honor to see you here. Please, for beginning, after a longer break, you have a new album called Vox. Please tell us something more about it.
Wow, what would you like to know? There's so much, everything. You have time? You have enough tape? Okay. Well, Vox is for me, is like going on another journey. I'm a wanderer. I'm a musical nomad and a wanderer. I just go on my journeys with the music. And I invite other people to come and join me in this. And it's just like going out again. It's going and go on another journey and find the adventure. It's the result of an adventure.
Your children participated in making and recording it.
Well, my studio is in my house, in a part of my house, and so it's kind of natural that my kids just jump in and come go out and just So for them, it's kind of natural to be part of the process, whether they play or sing or do anything on the album or not. They're just around. And sometimes when I play something and there's nobody around, then one of my kids sits at the drums and starts playing drums. So music is like it was for myself when I grew up in a musician family. Music is more than just a decoration in your life. It becomes an important element of your breathing and of your life in general.
And also, you first time you sing on album.
This has been a really major step for me because I wanted to sing all my life. This was what I wanted to do, but it just is a very difficult instrument to find and to feel comfortable in using and developing. And I'm in a stage of my life where I should not postpone dreams for too long because I may not have a chance to live my dreams. So it was my dream to sing, and it was unavoidable this time to really do it.
Let's make a main comparison about Vox and your previous albums. Where are differences?
That's fairly tough to do. Well, one thing this album is different, of course, is the voice, and it is a bit more rhythmically oriented. The last works I've done were more symphonic, more diverse, like Cosmopoly, the last official album that I did was with lots of guests from all of the world, people I met over the years and I've then invited for this Cosmopoly project. And this time it is more like the earlier albums. It's something where I really try to go back to my sound and invite the people, my old friends, to participate on the album, rather than having guests from all over the world, you know.
Okay. I must ask you for your album, lesser known but rare, Tom Garten.
Mm-hmm.
About making of this album, because I didn't see this on CD.
It is not internationally released yet, but it's going to, because we re-release all the albums in the near future. Traumgarten was the album that I've recorded with my father. And growing up in a musician family, my father many times music we just played together, we just improvised together. And my father was so much in the music, there's hardly anything was in the world that he was interested except for music. And so it was also sometimes difficult for me, because in order to have a relationship with your father, or with my father, I had to play music with him. So we sometimes improvised for hours, and he taught me the art of improvisation, of just playing what comes to your mind just now. That is Traumgarten. The album is the result of a father and a son coming together way after the son left home and had his own life and his own musical life, and then coming together and finding what's left of what they shared, and to find new things.
Thank you. Which material you will play tonight?
We're going to play a lot of the music of the new album Vox, but for one thing, we're not going to play it exactly it is on the album, because otherwise people could just listen to the album. We're improvising a lot too, and then we're also playing music from the older albums, the older material, back to the beginning.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please, for jingle, did you mind say your name and the message to our viewers?
What message? No. What name? What?
Your name. And
Oh, my name.
Your message to our viewers.
Now you have to explain to me, when is this going to be broadcasted? Today?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so it's not...
After the concert.
Okay, if I
this
tell him, come to the
interview
concert, it's already, okay. All right, let me think. Hello, I am Andreas VOLLENWEIDER, and I'm very happy to be here in Belgrade, finally, after a long time of trying. And I hope to be able to come back. And meanwhile, we're happy to know that there's music here that you could listen to until we come back here the next time.